Hello everyone. Today we are diving into a fascinating topic that's gaining a lot of buzz in the pet care world. It's all about CBD, also known as cannabidiol. And I'm here to unravel the magic behind this remarkable natural compound. So before we get started, I just want to go over some etiquette. If you guys have any questions during this presentation, feel free to go into the chat and write out your questions. We'll address them all at the end of the presentation. I also have my partner, Shane Talbot, here with me today that's helping to answer questions while I'm presenting so we can address some things inside of the chat. And with that being said, let's learn a little bit more about CBD. It's one of the many compounds found in the cannabis plant, but unlike its famous cousin THC, which is known for causing a high or a head high, CBD is non-psychoactive. That means that it offers the health benefits without the high. That's what makes it safe and appealing for our furry friends. The story of CBD starts with the cannabis plant, and sometimes called hemp, and when it's used in this context. Hemp has been used by humans for thousands of years, from everything from making rope and sails to serving as a remedy in medicines. So we fast forward to the modern times, and recently scientists have done a lot of studies on the potential health benefits that really started to capture our attention. Now, you might be wondering if it comes from the cannabis plant, is it legal? And that is a great question because thanks to the 2018 Farm Bill, hemp-derived CBD with less than 0.3% THC is legal at a federal level in the US. So yes, you can keep calm and carry on using CBD for your pets without a worry. With that being noted, not every CBD is equal. So every CBD in Utah comes with a certificate of analysis because the state requires for every single CBD product to be registered within the state. And they do that to help make sure that customers are actually getting what it is that is saying that's inside of the bottle. So some CBD actually does have a high amount of THC. Those ones are not safe for children. They're not safe for people that are have a hard time with the THC factor inside of the cannabis plant, and also pets. THC can cause a lot of anxiety within a pet, and they get really anxious and have a hard time being able to cope with it. So owners may look at them and be like, oh yeah, they're totally calm, but inside freaking out. It's like those moments when we have internal anxiety and we just freeze and we don't know what to do. And that's what the pets are doing when they receive high amounts of THC. So when you're looking for a brand of CBD for your pet, always look for non-detectable THC or no THC inside of the CBD that is a high grade CBD and not an isolate. So it can have the other compounds in it that we can talk about later, like CBN and CBV, but the THC component is the component that you want to watch out for with your pets. So why is CBD so popular for dogs? It's praised for its ability to alleviate discomfort, reduce anxiety, and support overall wellness. It interacts with a dog's endocannabinoid system, which plays a key role in regulating bodily functions like sleep, pain, and immune system responses. So that's a quick peek at what CBD is and where it comes from. A little bit into the endocannabinoid system of a dog, which is similar to the endocannabinoid system within humans because we are both mammals. So I hope you're feeling a little intrigued because I'd like for you to stay tuned as we explore more about how CBD can be a game changer in managing your dog's health and happiness and the ways that we use it in our family to help better our dogs' lives and ours. In our journey through the world of CBD, we've uncovered what CBD is, where it comes from. Now let's dive into the exciting part, how CBD can transform your dog's life for the better. So grab your notepad because you're going to want to remember these fantastic benefits. First up, let's talk about comfort. CBD is widely recognized for its ability to help manage discomfort. Whether your furry friend suffers from chronic conditions like arthritis or occasional aches, CBD may provide some much needed relief, and it's about making their days brighter and nights more restful. There was a time that we have an English Mastiff. He's like 170 pounds, and he is 3 years old. And about a year ago, he started struggling standing, and he would take a lot of time just to be able to get onto his hind legs. And Shane and I worried that maybe something dramatic happened to him, like a blood clot or a torn muscle. And we rushed him over to the vet's office, to the emergency vet. And we were waiting for about 2 hours while they were trying to figure out what was going on with our dog. And during that time, they reassured us that his stats looked good, that everything else looked fine, but they were worried that he may have pulled a muscle in his leg or got it hurt in his leg, or it was his hips were dislocated. So after knowing that all of the scary stuff was ruled out, Shane and I had brought a bottle of our pet CBD, our Playful Hearts CBD. So actually the one that has that dog's picture on it. His name is Dog. And we opened up the fur line on the back of his legs and just put dropper after dropper on the back of his legs, on the hind, like everywhere from behind, on his hips, everything like that. And it was miraculous to see within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, he was able to start standing up again. And then we would have him walk the hallway, and he was able to walk the hallway. And the vet wanted us to be able to sedate him, to be able to get an x-ray to see if there was other things going on. But for dogs that are that big, sedation is really scary for them. And we didn't want to risk that. So we were just slathering CBD on our furry guy and making sure that we were getting it right into the underneath the fur line, so it was right onto the skin. And we were able to walk out of that vet's office like nothing happened. It was crazy to be able to see such a huge difference of a dog that couldn't stand to a dog that was now running the hallways within a 20-30 minute period. So CBD for pets isn't just something that you can use orally, it's something that you can use topically too, at least ours can. And the reason why you can use Playful Heart CBD topically is because it's pharmaceutical grade. And what pharmaceutical grade means is that it is 100% pure. There's 99.99% purity to it. It's safe to be able to use on the skin. It's safe to be able to ingest. We even use it when he has ear infections. We'll put it onto the outside of his ear and then massage his ear so that it gets into that surrounding area. And it will get rid of the irritation that he has and the redness and the heat, everything that's going along with the irritation inside of his ears. He'll actually come over and lay down and flop his ear open and tell us that his ear's hurting and he needs CBD. It's quite miraculous because with pets, there's no placebo. They know that it is actually working, and they know that you know that it's actually working because you see a difference with them. So for pain relief, and it's just an absolute game changer. Next, let's tackle a big one, stress and anxiety. Does your dog hate fireworks, thunderstorms, or maybe they get nervous around strangers? CBD has been shown to help reduce stress and anxiety, calming their nerves without the sedative effect of heavy medication. We actually trained our dogs to be able to go out to the fireworks and watch them with us. And in order to do that, we had to train them to be able to be okay with it. So what we would do is we would give our dogs CBD, and then we would start making loud noises like hitting pots and pans, slamming doors, things like that, to be able to disrupt their system so that it desensitized them to noises. And then as the days went on, then like it gets closer to like the 4th of July and the fireworks are going off outside, we would give them CBD during that time, and then they would calm down, so that when the 4th of July came, we would have them come out with us and watch the fireworks with us, and we would give them CBD to calm them down to the point of where now it's been, so DOG's 3 now, he doesn't even need CBD, and he goes out and he watches the fireworks with us. And our 2-year-old Shar-Pei, Twinkie, he will do the same. And he doesn't react to the loud noises that normally dogs do because they don't like those sounds in the fireworks. So it's about being able to calm their system down enough to be in a space for them to be okay inside of that space, and it teaches them not to worry about it. And you just do it repetitively, ensuring that they're in a calm state while you're doing it, so that when those moments come up, they don't get as nervous, you don't have as much anxiety. Another thing that it helps with is separation anxiety. What we do to be able to help with our dogs for separation anxiety, because our big guy doesn't like being alone, but sometimes he's just too big because he barely even fits inside of the car. And so we will give him CBD about 20 minutes before we leave, and he'll be at a calmer state so that we can have him stay in place. And then we'll put a dropper full of CBD in his water, because we know that while we're gone, he will drink water. He won't eat food while we're gone, so we won't put it inside of the food, but he will drink water. And then when we get home, we've noticed a big change in the way that he reacts when we get home. He's no longer, like, he'll lay behind the door so that we can't even get inside of the door. And we're like, DOG, you gotta move, trying to move like a 170-pound dog to get into your house. Now we can walk straight into our house, and he's over laying in the living room, and he'll wait for us to be like, hey, where's DOG? And then he'll come over and be like, hey, I'm right here. And it's been a huge game changer of how we separate from each other, and then how he feels while we are separated. And of course, there's also some techniques that we do to be able to help with the coming home, making sure that we're not super excited that we're coming home, making sure that we put our stuff down, take care of our things, and then address the dog so that they don't feel like when a human comes walking in, the first thing is excitement. So there are some training things to be able to help make that an easier situation to deal with the separation anxiety. But CBD plays a huge role so that you can get them to be calm, so that you can reward them for that great behavior that they're doing that normally they wouldn't do without the help of CBD. And for anxiety and separation anxiety, orally is the best way to be able to get your dog to calm down fast. And then there's more. Overall wellness. CBD interacts with the endocannabinoid system in dogs, which helps them to maintain balance in the body, from improving skin and coat health to supporting digestive and immune systems. CBD can be a cornerstone in promoting general health. I know that Twinkie, our Shar-Pei, is very prone to rashes. He's allergic to like grass. And it's crazy and he loves it. And so, excuse me. So what we'll do is we will put it on him before we go to a park. And before, because our house is a xeriscape, which is probably why he doesn't do so well with grass, because he's not around it all the time. So we'll put it on his belly and all of his skin areas before we go to a park. And then when we come home, we'll do another light coat of it. And he doesn't get rashes any longer on his skin from going into the grass. It helps. It's an anti-inflammatory. So it helps calm the skin down. We're being preventative by doing it before we go, and then we're doing it after to make sure that there isn't anything like residing outside of there or starting to happen. Another thing that I've noticed is fleas. Our dogs don't get fleas. We don't have them on any type of flea treatment, but they do not get fleas, and they are outdoor kind of dogs. We go for walks, we go for hikes, we go out to the dog park. We are very active, and our dogs do not have fleas, and the CBD has actually been known to be a flea repellent. And a lot of the customers that have come to us that are customers of Playful Hearts CBD have said the same thing. They said that there's no fleas. They have seen a dramatic difference in the way that the dog's coat looks like also. The carrier for it is a fractionated coconut oil, and so it's really good for the dog's coat. So when you're looking for a CBD, you need high quality, you need it to be pure, you want to make sure that the carrier is a carrier that's going to work with them, and you want to make sure that it doesn't have THC. Those are the huge components when you're wanting to get pet CBD for your pet to be able to start getting these amazing benefits that we've been talking about today. So I've seen firsthand with my own pup, Dog. After starting CBD, his energy's improved, he seemed happier, and even his coat got shinier, like we said before. And it's like he found a second wing of playfulness too, because he does have hip dysplasia. And so we put it on him constantly to be able to help with his hips, and he can run better and faster and longer without limping the next day. We notice that when we don't use CBD after he's been playing, that he has a pretty good limp the next day, and he has a hard time walking. And so with the CBD, it allows him to be able to do things he normally wouldn't be able to do with hip dysplasia. First and foremost, it's all about the right dosage. Like any supplement or medication, the right amount of CBD is key to its effectiveness and safety. It's essential to start with a low dose and gradually increase it based on your dog's reaction. You also may want to consult with your veterinarian to determine the best starting point, especially if your dog is already on other medications. So for dosaging, the way that we like to explain it to our customers is you always start off with a small amount of CBD, because it's okay for you to start off small and gradually increase the dose, but if you do too much of a dose, smaller dogs tend to have more of an upset stomach with it, whereas larger dogs, it really doesn't make that big of a difference. You can usually go a little bit bigger, but for like smaller dogs, like 10-pound dogs, I start off with a couple drops and I work my way up from there, because they're somewhat similar to a cat. The difference between the cat dosage and the dog dosage is dogs are a lot more stubborn than cats, and so they have a lot more energy than a cat. So they need a little bit more than a cat would. So a cat, I would say 1 drop. 1 drop, and that's all that your cat needs from like a 500 milligram CBD that's good quality. And you'll be able to notice the difference within your cat within 20 minutes. For dogs, it takes more. I would say double that. So if you have like a 5-pound dog, instead of 1 drop, we're going to do 2 drops. You wait about 30 minutes. If you're not noticing any change orally with their anxiety or their behavior, then you can give them another dosage of what you just gave. So then you would give 2 more drops. So now they've had a total of 4 drops within a 30-minute period. And if you're still not noticing any change, wait another 30 minutes, give 2 more drops. So if it's a bigger dog, let's say the dog's around 30 pounds, you could start off with a quarter of a dropper. And then you wait 30 minutes, you give another quarter of a dropper. If you're still not getting results, you can wait 30 minutes, give another quarter of a dropper. And usually that's about, I'll only do it for like an hour and a half time window of playing with it for the first time with my dog. If you got results, awesome, you found your ideal dosage, do those 6 drops that you came to the conclusion that that's what they needed in that time period, or the 0.75 of the ml of what they needed, and use that as the baseline dose for the next time so that you don't have to keep playing with it more. You will notice that you're going to use different amount of CBD for different situations. So like when we were talking about Twinkie with his skin, the reason why I started doing the CBD on his skin before we went out to a place that had grass is because I noticed I didn't need as much CBD if I was preventative. If I waited until after he would come up with a big rash, I would have to put CBD on it, and it would get rid of a lot of the redness, but you would still see some rash there, and then I'd have to do another dosage later on his skin, and then maybe even the next day. But if I was preventative about it, I didn't have such a reaction, and we didn't have to go through all those steps. So it's the same thing when you're dealing with their dosages. If you know that somebody's coming over, pre-dose your dog. Give them CBD before somebody's coming over, because once they hit that heightened state, you're going to have to use 2 to 3 times as much as your baseline dosage to be able to get them to calm back down. It's kind of like us, you know, when something happens to us and we get into a heightened state, it takes so much more of things to be able to get us to get out of fight flight, to get out of that reaction mode, and to get us to calm back down than if we were at a nice calm state the entire time, right? And so when we're in a calm state, we don't need nearly as much to be able to get our system to calm back down. So it's the same thing for the dogs, is if you're preventative, you don't need nearly as much CBD. It's a lot easier to keep control over the situation. But we also know life happens. Strangers, or not strangers, well, sometimes strangers, solicitors, right, show up at our door, and we weren't expecting them, and then our dog's freaking out. And so we give them CBD, but those heightened states, you're going to have to use more CBD to get the same reaction you would when they're nice and calm. Those are the different types of dosaging. For pain, I always recommend doing topical and oral at the same time. So you do the topical to be able to get the areas that you know that are hurting them, and you just do a few drops. You do a few drops in the area on the skin, massage it in. If they don't want to be massaged, don't touch it. Just put the drops there and make sure that it's on their skin, and just leave them be, because it'll soak in where it needs to go. And then I also do a small dose orally. And the reason why I do it orally too is because it helps to be able to calm the system down of like all of the nerves. Also, inflammation in areas that we don't quite know where it is. It will help us to be able to find the areas that we don't know is hurting them. And then we do that on a continual basis. What's awesome is that as you're using the CBD, the inflammation markers are actually going down inside of your furry friend, and you will notice that you won't need as much CBD as time goes on. The way that you know is when you forgot your dose, because we're human and we forget things, right? So when you forgot your dose, but your pet isn't limping, or they're not struggling to be able to get up onto a surface, or they're not struggling to get up after laying down for long periods of time, that's when you know you can start cutting back on your dosages and cutting back on the amount that you're giving them too. Those are the tricks on how we use CBD dosaging in our lives, and how our customers have come back to us saying, hey, this worked and this didn't work. And we've been doing this since 2016. So we have a lot of customers who've come to us, and we have a lot of experience with being able to help get your perfect dosage for your pet. If you're not noticing results within 20 minutes for your pet, then something is up with the dosaging. And a lot of people are nervous to be able to give them more CBD, but they can't overdose on the CBD. We even had somebody message us and say, hey, our dog knocked over the bottle of CBD off of the counter and like licked up the entire bottle. And they didn't have any health problems. There was a calm dog for them for a while, but they didn't have any health problems with it. For those smaller dogs, you'll know because they'll have an upset stomach. But that's the side effect when you're giving them too much CBD, is an upset stomach. And that will give you the tell that the dosaging isn't right. You're doing too much. So when you're getting those symptoms, you can do less dosage amount more often to be able to make sure they don't get an upset stomach. Or you can give them a treat beforehand to be able to do it. Now, there is a difference between the route that you're giving your pet CBD. There is in water, which we talked about for like anxiety when we're leaving, we're gone somewhere, and we want our pet to be able to continue to have CBD while we're gone because we're going to be gone for hours. And that's a really good way of getting them CBD. I wouldn't use it as my go-to because it sits on the top of the water. You don't really know the dosage that they're getting. I only use that for when I'm gone for a long period of time. The other way of giving the pet CBD is topically, where you open up that fur line and put it directly on the area that they're needing. Either it's for skin health or pain or some type of wound that you're trying to like, not like a big incision, but if they're itching places a lot, it'll stop the itching. So you can get them to stop itching areas that normally you can't get them to stop itching areas. And then the last one is putting it in food. So you can actually put it in like their porous food. The difference between going directly into their mouth with the dropper and doing it with a porous food is that when you do it with the dropper, it's going right into their mouth, which is a mucous membrane, and they're going to get that quick with under 20-minute result. When you're putting it in food inside of something, then it has to go through their digestive system, which takes more CBD to be able to do what it needs to do because it's treating the entire body. And it lasts longer, but it requires more CBD to get into the system than it would when you're giving it directly into their mouth. So the only times that I would do food is if I'm doing like oral and then food so that I can have a longer lasting CBD. It's like humans taking a tincture and then a CBD gummy. So you can take your tincture to be able to get your immediate calm and then take a gummy to be able to have that last longer in your system than just a tincture would. So whether you're looking to ease discomfort, soothe anxiety, or just boost overall health, CBD might just be the wellness key that you've been searching for. So stay tuned as we explore how to safely introduce CBD into your dog's routine. So let's step back a little bit over to medications. And interactions are a significant consideration. CBD can affect how other medications are metabolized by the dog's body. And this is why having a chat with your vet is not just a good idea, it's a must if they're on any type of medication, especially like gabapentin. Gabapentin is a big one that you want to make sure that you're not messing with the way that the body is metabolizing the gabapentin in terms with the CBD, because they do mix, and gabapentin you have to slowly taper off of. So you want to talk to your vet about a plan of how you can get your dog off of gabapentin and start using CBD instead, or if that is a good plan for your dog. Every vet has a different opinion. A lot of vets are not allowed to be able to say, yes, you can use CBD, or no, like it's because it's not an FDA approved medicine. But there are some that say, I've seen clients have great results with it. So it's really depending on the vet that you're going to see of what kind of reaction you're going to be able to get back with that. But let's talk a little bit about the product itself. Not all CBDs are created equal, like we said. The market is unregulated, and product quality can really vary. Look for products that are specifically formulated for pets, and always choose items that provide a certificate of analysis like we talked about, and from a third-party lab. That will tell you exactly what's inside of the product and what amount, ensuring that you're giving your dog pure and effective CBD without any harmful additives, without any THC, without any type of sugar inside of it. Some of them have sugar inside of them. I don't quite understand some of the things that they put inside of these CBDs these days. That's why we started our own company, is because we were looking for a CBD company that gave us everything that we wanted. I wanted something that was pure, effective, no THC. Because really, I use it for my disabled daughter. And that's what got us onto CBD. And I could not find what I was looking for, and we found a manufacturer that helped us to be able to create what we had envisioned, which is Playful Heart CBD that is pharmaceutical grade and high quality, but they helped us to be able to make it affordable so that any family can take care of their own family with affordable, high quality products. And we took that same CBD to heal my daughter and we put it into her service pets. And that's why our customers get really good results, because it's human grade CBD. It's high quality, pharmaceutical grade, pure CBD that you can notice the difference with when you compare it to just your average bottle of CBD. Even the taste of it is pure. It's just such a game changer when you go with high quality CBD compared to low grade CBD. So by taking these safety precautions, you're setting a stage for a positive and healthy experience with CBD for you and your dog. And it's about caring smartly, lovingly for our pets, ensuring they enjoy all the benefits while minimizing any possible risk. So after ensuring we're all caught up to speed on safety, let's explore the exciting variety of CBD products available for our furry friends. Knowing which type of CBD product to choose can be just as important as deciding to use CBD in the first place. So let's dive into the world of CBD products tailored just for dogs. CBD comes in many forms, and each has its unique advantages. Today we're going to focus on three main types that are popular among pet owners: CBD oils, treats, and topicals. Let's break them down one by one. First up, CBD oils. These are perhaps the most common and versatile form of CBD. Oils can be administered directly into your dog's mouth or mixed into their food, like we talked about. The biggest perk, though, is the dosage can be precisely controlled, which is great for finding just the right amount that your dog needs. Tinctures are actually my favorite way to be able to do it, because it's so versatile. The ones that we carry you can use it topically, you can use it orally, you can turn them into a treat if you want to, and you can use it on their ears, you can use it for gum health. There's so many ways that you can use a tincture, which is why that's the type that we carry, because you can take this one tincture and turn it into so many things. You can even use it on their coat to be able to help it when they do it orally, because it has all those oils inside of it. It helps to be able to make their coat shinier and more soft, helps with shedding. But the next one is treats. I know people love dog treats. The CBD infused treats are a favorite for many dogs because they come in various flavors and they can be really tantalize those canine taste buds. They're convenient and they can be used as a reward during training sessions or as a comforting snack, but the downfall to treats is that they contain such a small amount of CBD that you would have to use so many more treats to be able to compensate for just a small amount of tincture. And it gets pretty cost effective if you're using them for more things than just a treat, or helping with like prolonging the CBD tincture that you're using, like I was talking about before, where you would do orally with food. You could purchase two different products and do the treats with the oral tincture and get more of like a longer lasting relief for your pet, or you could just use the tincture and put it on a few drops of their treats and create your own CBD treats. That's my more cost-friendly method of doing it, because the treats are expensive when they're CBD treats. And another way is topicals. So they come in like creams or balms that you can put directly onto their skin. They're perfect for localized issues like sore joints, skin irritations. They're absorbed right through the skin, providing targeted relief where it's needed most. And you can also use the tinctures for those too. So really the tincture is like our go-to. We're brainstorming, how do we save customers money and be able to get them a really concentrated amount of CBD. That's why we went with a 500 milligram pet CBD instead of 150 milligram or 250 milligram, which is what the typical pet CBD is, so that you get more CBD for your money. And it's more versatile for so many other things. So when you're choosing any CBD product, always ensure that it's from a reputable source. Look for products that are specifically made for pets, and making sure that you are... Wow, we have really covered a lot of information today, from understanding what CBD is to exploring the different types that we can use to enhance our dogs' lives. We've also learned how to choose the right products by assessing quality and looking at certificate of analysis, C of A's. And now that you're equipped with the knowledge to make informed decisions about using CBD to support your dog's health and happiness, I want to introduce you to our Playful Hearts CBD. We are offering those that have made it to this presentation 20% off of our 500 milligram pet CBD with the promo code Unlocking Wellness. And you can find that at our shop at www.playfulhearts.shop. If you're looking for more information about what Playful Hearts is about, you can find that at www.playfulhearts.love, where it's more information about who we are, how we got started, and what Playful Hearts has to offer in regards of wellness for not only our pets, but for the entire family. But before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to reflect on why we're all here. It's because we love our pets and we want the best for them. CBD is just one of many tools that you can use to improve your dog's quality of life. And like any tool, it's most effective when used correctly and safely. So I encourage you all to continue learning, consult with your veterinarians, and share your experience with each other. Community and support are key in navigating the world of pet wellness. Now I'd like to hear from you. We've got some time for questions. So feel free to ask about anything that we've discussed today and share your concerns or even your personal experiences with CBD for dogs. Let's go ahead and open up the floor.